Well, hello, welcome to the ITL. Well, I hope the wind doesn't come up on this too much. I don't have my cover shirt on today, but we'll see how it works out. It's better than scream at the camera anyway. It's what it is what it is on that part. But yeah, if you've been following the ride video that I had put up, I put up Wednesday. It was for a Tuesday morning ride. Yeah, this week was actually Briarbush. Actually, this week this week was my birthday week. Tuesday was actually my birthday. It was the 15th. And basically, what I did this week is basically, as far as the worries that I've had with getting everything lined up for health and everything, I kind of put that on my head, threw it out the door. Took the week off, and I mean, it was, even though it was tiring. Did a lot more walking than I really should have with the hip, but I mean, it was enjoying. I got a lot of stuff done, and also I ended up getting a lot of stuff for upkeep on the goat and my SUV, and a couple of tools for the garage. But I'll tell you what, just yesterday I ran into something. I was actually out cruising around the area with the wife, and we were hitting like the Salvation Armies, the Goodwill stores, the thrift stores, and this was something that I came across. Whenever I started, well, earlier this year, whenever I actually was, and towards the end of last year, whenever I was getting the lapel mics, different lapel mics set up and everything else, I always mentioned I wasn't quite done yet. And the last time there's one more thing I want to get, then I should be done. And I came across that item yesterday at a secondhand store. Yeah, a secondhand store. It works good too. But before I got onto that, it's like, this just proves you can go from $20 or under on a lot of this stuff, and even going secondhand, it works out. It does work out. I mean, now I'm not counting like cables and stuff, like cords like that, if you need them, because I mean, these are disposable items, wearable items. My eyes. I mean, it's like tires on a car or tires on a motorcycle. The wind's picking up. I mean, they break, you replace them. They're just cheap items. But yeah, let's go on down to what I found. And it's right here. I know you can't really see it too well because, I mean, the way the camera's set up and everything. This is actually a 4-channel mixer. And what I wanted a 4-channel mixer. And I had one on a new one, a low quality one on Amazon and on eBay. But it was for a mono setup, and that means only one channel. And I'll explain to you that here in a minute. Now, this is older. In fact, the company's out of business. It's a Radio Shack. But this is a stereo mixer also. This can do mono or stereo for microphones. And actually, the model to this is actually, the catalog number is 32-1106. I talked to a Suburban Rider just yesterday, and he said he had one similar to this, was silver. His was silver though, and he said his just works. If you see, they've got a bunch of ports on top of here. You got the RCA jacks, then you have the 1/8 jacks, and I'll show you. This is the cord actually. This is the original cord to the microphone I'm using right now. And it has the 3.5 millimeter on one end, the 1/8 on the other end. And I've been getting questions throughout this time. Why does my microphones have the 1/8 plug-in? This will show you why, actually. A lot of the equipment that you use for audio, they have the 1/8 plug-ins. And this one here, this mixer actually has the 1/8 plug-in, so you can just directly plug it right in. So what's going to happen is, instead of having the adapters that I use for the camera, they'll just plug right into the ports. Now I did end up ordering, because this comes out, these 4 ports right here are actually, 2 goes one side, 2 the other side. There's 2 for both channels going out to the camera. And I actually did order a cable that went from the RCA jacks to the 3.5 millimeter that goes into the camera. That way you'll get them on both channels. Even though you'll hear this in both channels, it's actually me going through the editing and panning the left channel over to the right, so it sounds like it's both channels. But that way it'll just cut out the extra editing part for me. And basically, this here, you won't really notice. You as a viewer will not notice anything, because this is basically behind the scenes type thing to help me out. I figured this could give you hints if you want to do basically the same stuff. And the reason I wanted the 4 channels, well, I had 4 mics. I have 3 lapels, or 3 lav mics, and a stage mic. And eventually, whenever I go to like meetups and stuff, I want to be able to do like group interviews or group talks with the ITLs with the together, and that way we will all have the same mic, or have different microphones, and the sound will come through better, so you can understand what's being said. There won't be one central mic. That way you won't get a soft area, because most microphones, they have a soft area, and normally it becomes a hassle. But this way here, it'll be right there. And this actually has, you'll see on the front here, it probably won't because the view, but right here is actually volume controls. So you can, if I got a microphone or got somebody with a softer voice, I can bring it up, bring it louder, do a couple of tests before we do recording, just to equalize the voices. That way you can hear better. Like I said, this was used, but it works. It runs off a 9-volt battery, and it actually has a low battery light built into it. Or you can get the DC 9-volt plug-in for it right here. I don't have the plug for it, the adapter for it. I can get them. It's not a big deal. But I wanted to keep this as wireless as possible. I know there's wires going from this to the camera, that kind of thing. That's okay. That is contained on my. I'll be contained on my tripod. I don't want no extra cords running to the tripod. That's what I'm trying to get away. That way I can take this stuff with me. I can set it up anywhere. I'm gone. I'm working. But yeah, this is what I've been looking for. The switch down here, if you can see it, the bottom is mono, top stereo, and what that means is every one of these switches are actually to one of the microphones. And if you can't read it, but it says left, right, that means whenever it's on stereo, this will be like number 1, that'll be on the left channel, this will be on the right channel, number 2, and go on down the line. Whenever it's a mono, it'll centralize it, and it'll sound like all the voices are coming out. So I mean, that's a nice added feature. But yeah, it's an older. I actually believe this may be from the '90 era, but I mean, it'll do all the work I really need. Life flight tank flying over. But yes, that is my one toy that I was able to pick up just yesterday. It kind of rolls my audio setup together. Later on, what I'll do is I'll get all my microphones and everything together and go through it as one video. That way you all can see what I've got picked up. And remember, each piece was $20 or less. And to be honest with you, most of it was around 10 bucks, between 10 and 15 bucks. So, I mean, this can be done, and I've done it, actually. Like the cord, even the cord, down to the cord I bought for this to the camera, I actually purchased that for $1.75 off of Amazon. So, you could do it on the cheap. The most expensive part of my setup is the camera. I can't help that. But yeah, I've got, like I said, I mentioned I got upkeep things for the bike coming on. I mentioned the last ITL about tires. There should be here today. I've gone ahead and gotten a balancer for my SUV tires, so I can balance my own tires for the SUV. If you've gone through my way back videos, you'll know that I do have a manual tire machine to break down the tires and mount the tires for my SUV, and all I need is a way to balance them. Well, I'm going to go with bubble balancing for my slow in-town driving. It'll do just fine. I mean, I can remember as a kid, all my dad ever had done with was bubble balancing tires. So I mean, he never had any problems, so I should do fine. SUV got one set of tires delivered a few days ago. They're sitting in the garage waiting to be mounted up. I'll be doing brakes, front brake pads for the SUV. No, I'm not making a video on that one, but I'll be doing front brake pads on it. I'll be doing brake pads all the way around on the Goat. You might say, oh, you just did them earlier this year. The rear ones on this year? Yeah, I did. But I want to do it as a complete set because I do have inspection coming up here in a month or two. And I want everything fresh and ready for the inspection. And the SUV is the same way. But I've gone through new air filter for the Goat. I've got oil filters for the Goat. I've gone through, and basically it's all just basically maintenance type thing. And the SUV is the same way. I've changed cabin air filter, the motor air filter. I've changed oil filter. I mean, this is upkeep stuff. I want to get stuff done before I get the hip done. That way I have no worries about it, and I can just concentrate on healing and getting back on the road. But I've yammered enough. This is MuzzleMike. Hoping you all have a great week. Signing out.